There's new trade data out. So Derrell, what does the meat trade picture look like?
Well, in general, it looks fairly positive, although for beef, April exports were down slightly. We're up for the year a little bit. Imports on beef were down slightly, and they are up a little bit for the year. Pork exports continue very, very strong, and broiler exports were fairly strong in the month of April as well, and for the year to date.
When it comes to the protein trade picture, are there any bright spots there?
Well, there are. I mean, it varies by country, and so, for beef in particular, Japan continues very strong. We have a new trade agreement that took effect on January 1, and we're really seeing the benefits of that now with a more competitive tariff situation. And then China, of course, is a major driver, continues to be in the protein market. So pork exports were huge to China. In April for the year to date. That is expected to continue. China is buying additional protein as well. They're buying broilers. In fact, China is our second largest broiler export market now. A year ago, they didn't even buy any broiler meat from us at this time. So that's a fast-growing market. And even for beef, China exports for the month of April were up 95%, but that's on a very small total. So, they're only about 1% of our exports, but it is growing and it's expected to continue growing.
Sticking with the trade picture outside of the U.S., are there any concerns at all in the international markets?
Well, obviously, COVID's had a lot of impacts around the globe, so in general, there's some uncertainty about exactly how those impacts will play out. Mexico, for the U.S., I think Mexico is a particular concern. Mexico has got a very serious economic recession happening right now. They were already kind of having difficulties anyway, plus they tend to be so tied to the U.S. Our recession is going to spill over down there. And then COVID impacts directly. So Mexico is a big concern of mine. Our beef exports to Mexico in the month of April were down 61%. We're down 22% for the year. And they're a major market for us. So that's one concern. South Korea slowed down a little bit in the month of April as far as beef exports. They've been one of our fastest growing markets for several years. So we have to watch that. I don't know that there's any major problems there, but we do have to keep an eye on it.
Going forward into the next, for the rest of the year, what does the trade picture look like? And are there anything that you could see that could disrupt or maybe even improve?
Well, we really expect that trade is going to be one of the kind of bright spots for protein markets. Again, China is going to continue to be a big driver of all of the proteins in general. We have modified our expectations somewhat as a result of COVID-19 impacts around the world. And there's certainly some uncertainty going forward, but as we start to get into more recovery mode in the U.S. and dealing with our own recession here, I think the trade picture is probably going to be one of the brighter spots that we can look to help us make some progress in the second half of the year.
All righty, Derrell. Dr. Derrell Peel, Livestock Marketing Specialist here at Oklahoma State University.